Wizardliz is not defending Landon. She is defending her choice in Landon.
First of all, my sister is not the type of person to call an ex-girlfriend. That's not the type of woman she is. We don't go and call girls and check our phones of our partners. She would never do that.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So this Wizardliz situation and Landon's ex Abby, it's really going crazy. There's a lot that's happening and I'm going to catch you guys up to speed with. If you haven't seen the Wizardliz video of how she announced how her fiance cheated on her and how she has ended the relationship and how people are calling out the fiance of how he set it up, go check out the video. If you haven't seen Little Wiz's fiance's ex-girlfriend coming out to expose him of how our own experience with him and dating him, go check it out. So that has also struck a whole lot of comments. I have those videos. I'm going to link it down in the description so you can just click on it and catch up with what we're talking about. Wizardliz and her sister are out here on the internet trying to discredit Abby, Landon's girlfriend. And this has also got the internet talking because people are saying that this is a man that cheated on you. Now you are the one coming on the internet now and you are trying to defend her. So apparently, Wizardliz's sister Sabrina came online to debunk a lot of the things or to talk about a lot of the things that Abby said and how her sister never reached out to Abby and how her sister will never have reached out to Abby and how Abby is pushing out a wrong narrative about everything and what Abby is trying to do, what Abby is trying to gain out of it, and how Wizardliz is hormonal now because she's 4 months pregnant and all that. And this has not sit well with people because even Wizardliz has took to social media to post that people should leave our fiance alone because they are threatening him. Abby exposed his number and all that, a whole lot of stuff. And some people are now coming against Wizardliz. Initially, when the story broke, everybody was in support of her, but now people are like, you know what? We don't like how you're going. We don't like the way you're treating Abby. You feel like you're better than us. You are giving an advice that you're not ready to keep, you're not ready to take, and all that. We're going to see the sister talk and explain what, because it's almost like she's being the mouthpiece of Wizardliz, and then people's reaction to it, and then I'll come back and share more of my thought because it's really interesting how the whole thing is playing out. And also, I just want to clear out something. When I did my original video, I said they were married. They were not married. She only known this guy for 10 months. They got engaged. They've been together now for 10 months and now she's 4 months pregnant. But they were never married. They were just engaged and she got pregnant. So this, which for me, it kind of changed the dynamic of everything. They are not married. And you guys know how I feel about having a child before marriage. And also, do you guys know that Little Wiz was just 25 years old? So as we're talking about her and the entire situation, put in back of your mind that she's 25 going to 26. Okay, so anyway guys, let's go check out the video and then we'll come back and talk more.
Hi guys, I'm making this video to address some stuff that are going on online that are just false. Landon's ex-girlfriend decided to come on TikTok and share her story, which she has the right to. But then the last video she is claiming that my sister called her, so Liz called her. She's showing screenshots of messages where in the second message she is saying that I'm the girl that you called in November. The evidence she's showing for this call is a no caller ID number. She is sharing messages where she is basically implying that my sister saw the messages. She goes on to saying that she recognized my sister's voice because she has a Middle Eastern accent. My sister is not from the Middle East. She doesn't have a Middle Eastern accent. Okay. Then our friend is sending that video to us. Friend, go and comment that that is not true. When my friend goes and comments that, all her comments get deleted. This video, which to us we thought like nobody was really gonna take this video seriously because, you know, a girl called a girl, whatever. All of a sudden my sister is getting all these messages saying that she knew that Landon was cheating, saying that she called this ex-girlfriend. First of all, my sister is not the type of person to call an ex-girlfriend. That's not the type of woman she is. We don't go and call girls and check our phones of our partners. She would never do that. The video seems harmless, but all of a sudden my sister is getting all these messages of hate, people accusing her of lying. When I see that video, I know what you're doing. Like, I know what you're implying. I know that you're implying that she knew. I know that you're implying that she saw your messages and she ignored it. I know what you're implying. Everyone on the internet, you can say whatever you want on your videos, but we know what you're implying and what you're trying to do. And if you were really a girl's girl and you really wanted you know, to come to Liz her defense or whatever, share your story, then why are you deleting the comments of our friends when they're saying like, hey, she never called you. I didn't want my sister to get involved in this because I don't want this story to get bigger and bigger. Liz was like, I want to message her. I want to ask her why she said that in the video. So then my sister goes and tries to message you, and she finds out that she's blocked and she cannot find your name. When I look you up on Instagram, I can find your name. She can't. So she said that you blocked her. And here's proof of the fact that she cannot find you on her Instagram. You have her blocked. That is the truth.
This case.
Sister goes onto her stories, tries to defend herself and say like, hey guys, I don't know why you guys are sending me all these hate messages over that video. I never called anyone. I never received any message. You guys have to understand that Liz is very hormonal right now. She's 4 months pregnant. Like, she's feeling pregnancy rage. She's trying, like, she's hearing stuff from all over. She's getting messages from all over. Like, she just took to her story to defend herself because she's tired of people lying. We're all tired. Like, I'm seeing the craziest thing. I literally deleted my TikTok because I didn't want to see these things. And I'm being sent stuff that I'm like, what are these lies? Like, people are just making up stuff. People are calling her a relationship coach, a dating coach. Like, when has she ever talked about relationships? Like, the only thing my sister talks about is literally standing up for yourself. She talks to people who have been victims of abuse. When has she ever talked about love? The only time she ever mentions relationships is when she tells you guys to walk away and respect yourself. The reason that Liz brought this to the internet and said that Landon cheated was because she's always been very transparent with her fan base. From the beginning of her career, she's always been very honest. She has never portrayed this perfect life or a facade. She's been honest about her abuse. She's been literally, every time she has a fight, or even with my mom or with me or whatever, she is the type of person that goes and shares that with her fan base, because that's the type of relationship that they have. And the people that follow her know that. She's very transparent. So obviously when she brings on a partner on the internet, she introduces that person to her fan base. Obviously when he cheats, she is gonna share that because she is that is who she is. She shares those things. She doesn't want to show a perfect relationship when that is just not the truth. And even if she didn't share that, some stuff would come out and then she would also be the bad guy, because in these situations women always get the blame for whatever they do. No matter what she does, she will get the blame. She asked in her stories not to send him any hate from the beginning. Nobody wanted that. She just wanted to be honest and transparent with her fan base. Nobody knew that the whole world was all of a sudden gonna go crazy over a girl getting cheated on. So then after those stories, like, my family's going through it, Liz is going through it, everyone is trying to be there for her and the baby. His ex goes and leaks his phone number. And listen, as a victim of abuse myself, I would never ever victim blame any woman. What happened between you and Landon, you have the right to share that. You have. And when you leak his phone number, we're getting calls from his family, from his friends. Everyone is calling us. Landon is getting death threats every second on his phone. People are calling him every second of the day, telling him to unalive himself, telling him the most disgusting things you can say to a human being. So my sister goes online and says, hey guys, like, stop the death threats, stop this, I'm worried about him. Obviously Like that people are getting upset about the fact that my sister goes and says that, hey, stop sending this man, who is, by the way, the father of her child, who is also, by the way, someone she loved very deeply, tells them, hey, stop the death threats. You guys are canceling her for that? She's now all of a sudden back together with him. First of all, she's never getting back together with him. That's not happening. When she leaves, that's it. Stop making up lies. Obviously, nobody wants anyone to hurt themselves. If you're the type of person that sees that someone online got cheated on and you go to that guy and message him, unalive yourself, then there is something really, really wrong with you. And nobody here is defending what Landon has done. Liz is not defending him. She is trying to make sure that nobody hurts themselves. She is not getting back together with him. Stop with all these lies. And I know the internet, they just make up stuff, but just to clarify this, she is not getting back together with him. They're trying to find a way to co-parent. And what happened between Landon and his ex-girlfriend is going to court. So they can go and defend themselves in court, and, you know, may the liar get what they deserve. I just want to say, like, to the people that supported her and are with her fans, thank you so much. But I hope that I cleared somewhat up of what happened. And I hope justice gets served. I'm right now just like focused on my sister's health and the baby's health, and yeah. I find it even like ridiculous making this video, but anyways.
You did.
I cannot make this up. The Wizardliz is now defending Landon after Abby released her video exposing him for cheating and stalking her. Liz posted on her Instagram story saying, guys, I'm getting videos from my friends that Landon's ex just posted a video saying that she DM'd me before and that I called her. I have never in my life called any woman or been aware about other women in our relationship. She shows evidence of a no caller ID number and claims she recognized it's me because of my Middle Eastern accent. I'm not Middle Eastern, and it feels like to me you're trying to make fun of my accent. Whatever happened between you and Landon is between you guys to solve, but don't start lying and making up rumors about me. I don't remember Abby talking about her accent. And then she says, my friend kept commenting that I never called her or have seen her DMs, and her comments kept getting deleted. I don't understand what your motive is. She also leaked Landon's phone number and email, and people are calling and texting him every second to unalive himself. I don't want the father of my child to hurt himself. He's already going through it and he's already lost everything. Stop the hate, please. And then she also says, I'm trying to move on from this, but now I can't even try to heal or think about me and the baby because I have to worry about my ex hurting himself. I have never seen any girls DM about him until Peyton messaged my friend that she found on TikTok. That's the only reason I found out. When I found out, I immediately left and I'm trying to move on. Do whatever you want to do, but leave me out of this and stop creating false narratives that have never happened. And then she posts this quote saying, what are you afraid of losing when nothing in the world belongs to you? Y'all, what happened to being a girl's girl? I think she should have maybe offered her support to Abby and Abby's experience with Landon. But what Liz is basically saying is like, I'm not a part of this. Don't bother me about this. This is Abby's issue, not my issue. And also Landon posts a picture of their baby's ultrasound and says, my deepest desire is to give you the life you deserved, and I'm so sorry. Liz, thank you for carrying our miracle. I'm so sorry I failed you both. I swear these two are back together. They're gonna get back together. Or they're already together. I think that's why she's defending him.
Listen, for me, it's the fact that the Wizardliz's sister, Sabrina, is sitting on here on this app saying, when has my sister ever talked about relationships? When has my sister ever talked about love? Ma'am, I found at least 20,000 TikTok edits of your sister. The only thing she cares about is boys. She only cares about boys. Boys and money. Like, let's use our brains here. Okay? Another thing is that you're so quick to antagonize, and you're so quick to like use this one point to antagonize Abby about the Middle Eastern accent thing. Queen, I am Egyptian, okay? Both of my parents are immigrants. My father has a very strong accent. Who gets offended over that? It means you know another languages. You're bilingual at the very least. Why are you bringing that up against Abby to antagonize her instead of all the other things that she talked about? You and your sister, this is directed to Sabrina and the Wizardliz, you guys are so embarrassing. Genuinely, you guys are so fucking embarrassing because you just keep missing the point. You keep missing the point. And by the way, this international Landon hate train is because your sister started it by posting online. True. She made it the internet's business. Stop blaming Abby. okay? And she also had receipts for everything. Landon didn't. But yet your sister still chose his side. Okay, I'm done.
Wizardliz's sister came out with a video yesterday that Landon and Abby are now going to court over the allegations that Abby has made against Landon, and may the best liar win. This is exactly the words that she used in this video. Now imagine if we had treated Liz with the same standards that these sisters are treating Abby. It means that we wouldn't have immediately believed Liz, and we would have required proof, and we would have needed Landon's full side of the story, and we would have said, you know what, you work that out, that is not our problem. We did not do that. We immediately jumped to Liz's defense, and she had the entire internet on her side, okay? I don't think people realize how privileged Liz is as a victim compared to Abby. Abby has no one. I am so disappointed at the way that this is unraveling, and it has set us as women back years. The fact that the conversation is no longer on Landon anymore, but against Liz and Abby, is exactly what Landon wants. He has successfully pitted these two women against each other. He has successfully manipulated Liz into believing that Abby is the crazy ex-girlfriend. If you hate on Abby but you support Liz, you are not someone who cares about women, and you are picking and choosing who to give your empathy towards, which means you are not an empathetic person. And for everyone saying that Abby picked the wrong time to share her story needs to understand that there is no right time for a victim to speak up, especially since Landon jumped from stalking Abby to being with Liz within the span of a month. So were you expecting Abby to come forward during the honeymoon phase of Landon and Liz and share her side of the story then? She would have been absolutely crucified. This poor woman not only felt silenced, but she had to watch online as her abusive ex-boyfriend gallivanted off with another woman and was perceived by the internet as like a superhero, a savior, a really great person. I'm understanding now that most of Liz's following is under 25, and you will understand one day. I hope you never do, but you may understand one day what it's like to be in Abby's position, and then only then will you realize that there is no such thing as a crazy ex-girlfriend. There is no such thing as a perfect victim. If someone lashes out and becomes crazy, it's because they were put in an environment that caused them to do so. There are just very few women in this world that are just actually truly crazy without having gone through something that made them that way.
Wizardliz is not defending Landon. She is defending her choice in Landon.
Yep.
I'm going to say that again. Wizardliz is not defending Landon. She's defending her choice in being with Landon. Okay? What we're witnessing at this point with Miss Wizardliz is an ego death. Girlie realizing that she is not above the program. Girlie realizing in real time on the main stage that the rules, in fact, do apply to her. And I'm definitely going to do a podcast episode on it because it is a great conversation to have. But sister girl is realizing that she wasn't above anything or anybody. And I do believe that her platform and her level of influence did get to her head a little bit, to where she thought that surely nobody would try her the way they would try a commoner. Surely she has proven herself through her content to be a high value woman above all of the debauchery. So not only has she been played by this dude, but she's also not the only one that's been played. That's why she's attacking his ex, because she is realizing she isn't special. She's not different. Abby came forward and said, yeah, the same shit he did to you, he did to me, girl. She didn't want to hear that. Because what she's hearing is, yeah, you're not different. You're the same. You're equal to me. She didn't want to hear that. She's not defending Landon the person. She is defending her choice in choosing Landon to be with, because she doesn't want to yet admit that that wasn't a good choice. She isn't quite ready to admit her role in not following her own advice. She's given this millions of people at this point. She's not yet ready to accept that and accept the long-term consequences that came with her not following her own advice. The same advice she gave from her pedestal of being above the program. Yeah. More in 5.
The reason I never really resonated with the Wizardliz is because I could kind of tell there was an air of arrogance and cockiness about her. You know somebody's a good leader when they quietly lead. They don't really have a lot to say, but when they do speak, it's very profound. A good leader is going to be humble and poised. You're not gonna have a big ego and talk a big game, be too cocky with it. And from what I saw of Liz's content, to me, she kind of just seemed like the female version of these red pill men that call themselves alpha males and kings. She always bragged about how much respect she has for herself and how she's never going to put up with anything at all. The more you brag about yourself and the more that you try to convince your audience that you're a respectable person, less likely you actually are to have that. Because it really just sounds like you're trying to convince yourself. Because that's what true leadership is really all about. It's not surrounded or rooted in ego, but rather it's rooted in authenticity, vulnerability, integrity, and honestly wanting to help other people. Being a leader is not trying to force things or manufacture saying something powerful just because it's what you think your audience wants to hear. Being a good leader is knowing what to say, how to say it, and when to say it, and knowing your audience. That way, when you speak, it actually means something of value and people are going to want to listen to you speak. Being a true leader is actually meaning what you say, and she did the exact opposite of that. She got engaged and pregnant by a man after only knowing him for 8 months, which is something I don't think any respectable female leader or role model should do. And then to discredit another woman's domestic violence experience is the cherry on top. And I think that this should be a learning experience for young women on what not to do in a scenario like this. How to not be the face of a brand like this. How to not be a leader as a woman. Maybe she did have good intentions, and this isn't to say that everything that she's ever said or put out is trash. But I genuinely think there are way more female role models out there for young women. If there's an audience of young women that want to look for feminist role models, this book, it's called What She Said. It's by Monica Lunnan. It's basically just a book compiled of a bunch of infamous speeches made by women throughout history, and it's unbelievable. At the end of the day, Wizardliz is young. I'm young. I'm not telling you to take advice from me. Not everything you see on the internet is real. True. I just think if you're going to have female role models, I think that they should be people like this and not necessarily influencers.
True. Please go down in the comment section and share your thought about this updates that is going on, and let me know what you guys think. There's even more updates coming up, which is going to be, I'm going to post that next. But let me know what you think about the entire conversation so far of how Wizardliz and her sister reacted to Leonard's ex-girlfriend Abby coming out to share her story. I really want to know what you guys think. And do you guys know that Wizardliz, she's 25 going to 26. She's that young with that amount of followers. Let me know down in the comment section if you know this, okay? But please, as always, share your thought, but please be respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. We're not here to tussle, we're just here to have conversation, okay? So, here's my own take on this Lizzo. With I personally, before I go on, I never knew she was that young. Like I said in the first video I did when I did the story about her announcing that I actually thought that was her husband too. Actually, they are not married. It's just fiance. That was the first time I was hearing of her. I've never seen her content before. I know that. And it was really interesting for me to like, okay, so there's someone like this on the internet. But just to think of first of how old she is, and now everything just makes sense now. Like everything just makes sense. I'm not saying that, oh, young people can't, but no. I just feel like sometimes experience comes with age, and sometimes you can, that means she has been talking the talk since she was probably 20 or so, because she has been on the internet for a while. So she has been talking the talk, giving advice on relationship and all that when she was really, really young. And sometimes I'm not saying you have to go through pain for you to learn. Sometimes you learn from people's experience, but sometimes life teaches you a lot. For me personally, I like we always talk, people, if you're less than 25 years old, your frontal lobe is not even developed, so your rational thinking is kind of foggy a little bit. So when I see young people talk like Liz, and I'll stand on business, like I'm happy, because that's why I create the content I create, because I want younger women to be able to see through the BS and be able to make decisions that serves them and be very intentional with their life. When I see it, I'm like, I love it when I see younger women in their purpose. But also to not see when someone is in progress, in working on herself, working on our mindset, shifting our mindset. For me, it takes and giving advice. I'm not saying it's not possible, but sometimes I feel like this advice should be taken with a pinch of salt. And I feel like that it just makes sense for me why she will fall for this, and why this is a thing, that she's not even married. She met this guy 10 months ago, they're engaged, and now she's pregnant. That actually speaks a lot concern, like that, okay, this is her age and this is her mindset and these are the things she believes. Because whether you like it or not, when I went through her content, I find out that she really like, they find out that she come off like, oh, she's not man-centered, she's this independent woman. But sometimes some women disguise being not man-centered by being men-centered. I don't know if I'm making sense. So you see some women come and they talk, oh, especially when it comes from a place like, oh, men are this, men are trash, like that, and how many men have you experienced? Do you get what I'm saying? Sometimes it comes from a place of you're trying to get attention from men. Comes from the place you're obsessed with men. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes you want to be picked by men. I don't know how to explain. Sometimes it can be a psychological thing. I don't know what make you see some people that say, oh, I don't like something, but that's the thing they like the most. And I feel like she was just waiting for that Prince Charming to come and sweep her off her feet and give her that dream life that society again has sold to women, has sold to young girls, that is the life to dream. And that's why you still see out there that a lot of young girls are still, they still believe in that fairy tale. Oh, my Prince Charming, I'm going to find that man that's going to, and there's nothing wrong with finding that man that's going to truly, but it has to be on a very deeper meaning, not just material things or opening the door for you. It's more deeper than that. And I'll even say even more spiritual than that. But clearly, a lot of people just want to go with the textbook on how he treats me. He did not cheat on me. He didn't get other girls pregnant. He's not talking to other girls. He buys me flowers, buys me Birkin. He's building a house for me. Sometimes a man can be doing all those things for you that society has considered that's how you should be treated, or that's the happily, and then still you still feel like shit. It's still on his own subtle way, you feel like shit. So it just, for me personally, it just makes sense that this is who Wizardliz is. Like, she's young. And I feel like grace should be given to her. But let's come back and talk about how a reaction towards what's it called? Leonard's girlfriend. All these people are young, like, guys. Leonard's girlfriend. Sorry, I'm not trying to sound old, but they're really young, and for me, it just makes sense. Okay, why? Sometimes we'll be young, we've been stupid before. I was a 25 years old girl at a particular time. I was stupid. What I know now and how I move now was not how I move at 25, and that's okay. But just for now, there's a baby involved, like, or else she would have sensed it, or else she would have picked on clues, or else she would have navigated things. But let's come back to how she's reacting to Abby. And I get where a lot of creators are coming from, talking about how she should have been more supportive than she is, rather than her trying to remove her equation and try to protect her fiance, rather than, okay, this is Abby's story, this is Abby's story. And for me, I don't even know why her sister is jumping into it and talking about it. And then the Middle Eastern thing that they talk about, honestly, I'm like, even Abby said, the way she said it, she didn't say it in a very bad way. And what is wrong with having a Middle Eastern accent? Like, what's wrong? I'm not even Middle Eastern. What is wrong with it? You have an accent, and I think they live in Dubai. And for me, I think she sounds kind of Middle Eastern, Dubai. Would they say the Gulf coast? She sounds that way. So I don't see anything kind of why that is even a big deal. And then she come to say, oh, no girl, nobody, she never reached out to anybody. Even Abby said it in her video that she thinks she's the one because of the Middle Eastern accent, not because she can confirm and say she is the one. So it could be anybody. Abby never said directly that Wizardliz called her directly and all that. So for me, I just feel like when it comes to case like this, and I've said it before, I wish that we talk to ourselves, especially when you've dated somebody before, rather than start making the other person being the bad guy. Same thing he did to you, he did it to her too. So if both of you have compare note and share note, probably things would have been a lot easier for you. You would have clocked things easier. This is how we would have prevent ourselves from being in this situation where you only know a guy for 10 months, you're engaged, and you're 4 months pregnant already. So that means literally 5 to 6 months into the relationship, you got pregnant. You see, that's the young reckless thing there. That's like 6 months into the relationship, you're already pregnant, auntie, and you're here giving people advice about how you're a responsible woman. And you say, oh, when you know, you know. When you meet the person, you're still walking in la la land. And then you now feel like you can play down another woman's story. Or for me, I just feel like that was really distasteful for how they handled it. And I feel like, me, do I think that she's going to break up with Landon? No, I feel they are going to get back together. They already share a child together. And it's 4 months. You can do something about it if you want to. Just saying. Not telling her to do anything, but I'm just saying. But yeah, but I don't think both of them are going to separate or go anywhere. And I feel like they've not broken up. I feel like they're back together. I feel like he's begging her and all that, which we're going to share more in the next video, because the next video, Landon is out here suing his ex-girlfriend and bringing out receipt that his ex-girlfriend is lying. I'm going to get into that video, and I'll be the one to show you people the receipt. I have all the receipts, okay? So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this drama that is going on down in the comment section. Share your thoughts. Share the video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be supporting this channel and this guy. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.